my friends, how's it going? It's Ultimus, and much like with our updated Holy Paladin video, I figured it'd be a good time to go back and revisit some of the other classes and specs, specifically the ones that I find that I have maybe the most input to share, or the ones I care most about. I probably won't do this with all of them, but go back and revisit what's changed with the artifact talent trees, and I'm glad I did because there's quite a bit that's different even with the arms warrior tree. So let's go ahead and take a look. For starters, we do have an equip effect now on the weapon Stromkar the Warbreaker. It states equip. Mortal Strike has a chance to unleash a swipe of void energy, causing 150% of attack power, shadow damage to all enemies 8 yards in front of you. The flavor text is kind of cool too. It states, the steel of the barbarian king shall strike the final blow. It shall silence the din of battle and bring the first kingdom into an age of peace. I like that. I like bringing peace with the strike of a sword. Just, in our case, we'll do it in the arena. Right? Right? No. So, let's go ahead and again just kind of highlight what's changed, what's different, all that good stuff, and then we'll call it a day. So, our first talent, our baseline talent stays exactly the same, nothing different about it. Same attack percentage, everything. This one has been changed, or not changed, but it's been moved. So increases the damage of slam by 5, 10, 15%. One against many stays the same, which is fine. Touch of Zakaj has been moved, and it changed a little bit. The percentage isn't as high, though the original percentage could have been a tooltip error, but it has moved around in the talent tree, and it states Stormcrar heals you for 3% of the amount of damage that Mortal Strike deals, and that goes all the way up to 6 and then 9%. And then we have Unending Rage, which stays exactly the same, increases our total rage by 30. Thoradin's Might stays the same, increases the damage of Mortal Strike by 15% while decked out. And then Precise Strikes stays the same. Colossus Smash reduces the rage cost of your next Mortal Strike or execute by 45%. Focus in Battle has changed. Now it states that Colossus Smash deals 25% more damage. It is no longer a Colossus Smash reset, which is fine. However, some of the talents have been switched and moved around, so we'll get to that in just a little bit. Tactical Advance stays the same. When your Heroic Leap lands, you gain 10%, 20%, 30% increased armor and parry chance for 4 seconds. I like that a lot. Good defensive for sure, especially if you're trying to get in there and mix it up and go for that Leapsecute, as we call it, or as we call it in the arena world, the Smexecute, because Smexen is the king of those Heroic Leap executes for sure. And here I thought I was clever for using them, but I'm glad to see that my my mentality and a rank 1 warrior's mentality are on the same page. Yeah, maybe one day we'll be just as good. Not likely though. We have Will of the First King stays the same while Battle Cries active your abilities all cost 0 rage, and I cannot wait to use it. Defensive measures has changed. Now, remember, this was the one talent that I had kind of a weird issue with. Not that I didn't like the functionality, but it just didn't seem to fit. Before, it stated that when you're in defensive stance, you could use Victory Rush every 5 seconds. Now, it's just a flat buff to defensive stance. It states while defensive stance reduces the damage taken by an initial 5%. So, not as exciting, but it definitely feels more appropriate for an arms warrior rather than being able to use Victory Rush every 5 seconds. So now up here with Exploit the Weakness, this is where Focus in Battle, or what used to be known as Tactician, I suppose, or no, Tactician was the proc, this was Focus in Battle, my bad, has been moved around a little bit. The effect is still there, but it's been changed. No longer attached to Mortal Strike with a 20% chance, however, it is now attached to Slam with a 2, 4, 6% chance. So Slam has a 6% increased chance to reset the cooldown of Colossus Smash. So a little bit more incentive to use Slam. Not that there wasn't already, because it will be pretty much our main filler for single target DPS. But now there's even more incentive to actually use the spell and use it against enemies, obviously, so that we can get that Colossus Smash off cooldown. Death Blow stays the same, increases the critical strike chance of execute by 5, 10, 15%. And then we're going to get into some of our elite abilities here. Void Cleave, we finally have a percentage number for it. States when Cleave strikes more than 3 targets, Stormcar releases a burst of Void energy, causing 75% of attack power shadow damage to all targets within 8 yards. So, nice to see that we're actually getting a type of percentage there with that, so we're actually going to be able to get an idea for how much damage we're going to be able to do rather than just 1,000, because obviously that was kind of a placeholder and very underwhelming as numbers go. So it's pretty cool to see that we're actually getting a percentage there. Corrupted Blood of Jakaj stays pretty much the same. Well, when you activate Battle Cry, your sword radiates shadowy energy, causing targets to suffer an additional 50% of all damage dealt over 6 seconds. And then Shatter Defenses stays the same as well. When you apply Colossus Smash to a target, your next Mortal Strike or Execute will have 50% higher critical strike chance and deal 50% additional damage. So, nothing has changed there with that one. So far, looking at the changes to Arms Warriors, it changes in subtle ways, but I think it's going to be a drastic change. Okay. Not drastic, but I think it's going to be significant. Changing it up to where Mortal Strike is no longer going to have a 20% chance to reset the cooldown of Colossus Smash, and swapping it over to the Slam and only having a 6% cooldown is going to be a big changer for sure. Because essentially, I mean, how the math would kind of add up. I mean, I know this doesn't work exactly like this because every time you do an attack, it's a different dice roll. But basically, with Mortal Strike on a 20% chance, that would be, what, 1 out of every 5 attacks would reset the cooldown of Colossus Smash. And that just gets to be a bit much. It's like, you know, instant proc Lava Burst and instant cast Lava Burst all over again. Not as exciting. So that change, I think, is going to be good. It's definitely going to change the warrior playstyle a little bit in the sense of it's going to further enhance that kind of patient and well-timed precise strikes and really wanting to take advantage of that Colossus Smash window rather than you're going to have Colossus Smash up so often and so frequently it's not going to matter. You're just going to melt people. This change I do think is a little more appropriate, just defensive stance, reducing damage you take in about an additional 5%. I think that's an appropriate change. I still like this talent for sure. Having that armor increase and parry increase after Heroic Leap is just golden. That 4 seconds is going to be great as well. So overall, I'm still liking the way Arms Warriors are looking. It's killing my soul that I can't get a hold of them on the beta because I don't have beta, so it is what it is. But just looking at what we got over here, looking at the talent trees, still pretty excited about the class. And I'm looking forward to, if nothing else, again, getting my hands on them when we get into that pre-expansion patch. So, alright guys, thank you so much for watching. If you have any comments or anything to add to this video, leave it in the comment section below. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. But as always, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Still shooting for 500 subs come summertime. Don't forget to follow me on all the different social media platforms we got listed all throughout the channel in the links and descriptions below, and as well as up in the banner. That's it from me, so I'll catch you next time.